although the stick's kind of in the way of your hand, you can see your hand position, especially in your right thumb. The fact the right thumb's over here compared to where your right thumb is over there means that this one here now has got that thumb a bit more on top, as we said. So you're getting it more in the fingers. That's going to give you that ability to hinge the wrist, okay? The issue we had there was posture was better, setup was decent, okay? Thumb on that right-hand side means that's going to cause the wrist hinge not to want to go as easy as they want to go. As you tend to take the golf club back here now, there's not much body movement there for how far that club's actually travelled. And when you get here now, you can see sort of the collapsing. And because the wrist is bending, if you're gripping at the top of the backswing, you have to ungrip it because you've gone so far this way. It's like, it hurts. Your wrist doesn't like it, So it's just trying to kind of recreate sort of a movement, but that club in that position, that left wrist now we can see sort of pointing back towards the table here, okay? If we look at this movement here now, when you do it, obviously with that hinge of the wrist, so your left wrist now is back towards us. A bit blurry, but you can see the left wrist there, and there's much more width. So there would be your L position that we talked about, okay? Moving back that way as you go back. So you can see when you do that now, straight away, the hinge is happening. So at this point now, the wrist now, that's a bit blurred, as I said. You can see the back of your left wrist pointing towards us. And that would therefore mean the club face now is staying in a more sort of square position. The ball is spinning to the left. For you, it's because we call bowed that left wrist and you've closed the club face. So when you come back to the golf ball, your club face is aiming left of target. What you then suggested that you would do, and it's not to try and catch you out, to sort of get a feel for what you would do and hopefully showcase how quick fixes on the golf course don't always work. The ball was going left. In your head, it was a path issue. The club was coming from too far outside, So you started trying to swing further to the right. Well, if you're swinging further out to the right with a club face pointing to the left, you are going to get a really big hook. Unless you've got a lot of loft in your hands, like a 9 or a wedge, it's not going to go up in the air. So it'll be a real low smother with the club you've got. So doing this movement here now, then when the club gets there, okay, that I would say, if I clear the lines there now compared to those two, just it's a bit blur on the right hand of the daylight between your head and your hands now has increased, So you're hinging the wrist better, As we go back there, your left wrist is still a little bit back towards the wall there, but it's certainly improving, okay? But that was just one practice go, okay? Then when the ball gets there, you could see now, if we sort of go into setup, just watch this play out. Okay, so you got your grip better. So you're putting the club down there now. And now we're good to go. We're good to go. We can hit it. There you go. So there's a bit of a delay in that. I think a lot of that just showcases your thinking a lot, You've got to think, okay, right, do the practice away from the ball. That's when you're thinking all the time. And then when that ball gets in there, like you would be just throwing a ball, you pick, you look, you hit, you throw, It needs to be a little bit more kind of, here's the feeling, shoom, hit it. If you overthink things too much, you probably revert back to sort of half and half in between, not sure where that club is, then you come back as a bit of a miss hit there, obviously off the contact of the golf ball, okay? But you've got to work on that movement there now, get that feel. So there's a position that we're trying to produce, So you can do that. And again, don't have to overdo that. Don't try and go back further and put your back under any undue strain. If that's as far back as you go, it doesn't matter. As I said to you last, I'd rather you make a better backswing than a longer backswing, People, when they start losing yardage because of how they swing it, think, if I swing the golf club longer, it's going to go further. But it's like that young child who's kicking a football, has a 30-yard run-up. He's not going to kick it that much further than the guy has a 3-yard run-up. There's a point where you go beyond.
The best I was hitting was about, say 6 months ago. And in my mind's eye, it was sort of, it was actually going back further than I thought. But I was sort of...
You thought it was a shorter swing,
I thought it was. More up there. But
the energy you're going to produce now is going to come. That's why, if you're going to throw a ball, your wrist is going to hinge that way. You're not going to hinge it too much in this fashion. There is an element of this, as I said, but we don't want to be emphasising on that.
It's probably 80% from there.
Exactly. So we can get that hinge and get that movement working better. So that straight away now, when that sort of little thing was off the sort of shoulder, to get it in the shoulder there now, straight away, you were hinging. Now you think, I'm hinging the wrist. You're still maintaining a lot more width because your arm's maintaining its width, your body's rotating. You've had as much shoulder turn there in the backswing than you have on that one there when you complete the backswing. And that's only halfway back. So we're using that body more. Okay,
got you.
Make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Very good.